Welcome back. So from wedding dates to banning phones during the marriage vows, we just got some new insight into what is and isn't top of mind for couples planning to tie the knot this year. And joining us live with all the details, Deputy Editor of wedding planning website The Knot, Esther Lee. Esther, great to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me, Seattle.
All right. So I really think this is fascinating here. I mean, weddings can be very personal, but I mean, you've really gleaned some things from this study. What is the average cost we should start with of a wedding right now?
Yes, so typically the average cost of a wedding is always around the $30,000 range, and that includes the engagement ring. But however, it does range upon the location and what the type of wedding that the couple is throwing, along with, of course, the average guest count, which does influence the cost the most.
And, you know, we did mention this at the top here. People are asking guests to ditch their phones during the ceremony. I don't feel like that's a major surprise, but how common is this now?
Yes, so we are seeing this uptick in a trend. It's so interesting because years ago we started to see the hashtag trend, and now we're seeing the opposite effect occur. It's due to couples finally realizing that they just want their guests to simply be present on the wedding day. And so with this reliance on technology, much of the event is really about the celebration itself rather than the documentation.
I was talking with my producer, and we were kind of gasping at the number of vendors couples are hiring on average. It's something like 14 or something like that. I mean, what kind of services are we talking about here? I don't even think we could think of 14 vendors.
Yes, so that number does seem lofty, but actually that is the average vendor count. However, for multiple reasons. First and foremost, couples need professionals to execute their wedding day. So for example, you're not going to hire yourself to handle the wedding florals. You want to have a professional make your wedding venue as beautiful as possible. In order to find some of the best-in-class vendors, we do recommend that couples turn to services like the Knot Vendor Marketplace, where they're able to find ratings and reviews, as well as the style of these vendors who are executing. In addition, you know, you want the best-in-class photographers, videographers, all of those folks who will create lasting memories from your wedding day, which is why we highly encourage couples turn to the pros and trust them. They've done this before.
You know, I feel like obviously, of course, people hire a florist and a photographer, but nowadays in 2023, are there any unusual vendors that are starting to be trendy that we didn't do, say, 20 or so years ago?
Yes, so this is fascinating. More couples are relying on videographers. What we found with wedding regrets previously is that a lot of couples do regret not having the documentation of like the teaser and themselves moving about on their wedding day. So that's been very popular. We are seeing couples actually are leaning into really interesting services for the wedding day too. So live painters, for example, to keep a memory or a relic. Yes, that's really fascinating as well as other types of interesting types of vendors who specialize in entertainment services. It's all about the guests. Couples are spending more on their guests and focusing on making sure that they feel at their best on their wedding days as well.
Yeah. I also have been to some weddings recently that have food trucks, and I'm just putting it out there. We love a food truck at a wedding. It's very amazing, especially after the free bar.
Absolutely. It tastes delicious to have a taco bar late night, right? Or some Chick-fil-A or, French fries. We love a good late night snack.
I mean, Esther, you have me at French fries. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about just the basics as well. Is there like the popular day to get married, or maybe a day where it might be a little bit cheaper if you're on a budget?
Yes. So traditionally, we've actually seen this very interesting shift to couples wanting fall weddings, and that's no different in 2023. However, many couples have gone for this wedding date 9/23/23. If you think about numerology, you think about how it flows, a lot of couples decided to choose this day, making it the most popular day of 2023.
Interesting. Okay, so you get a fall wedding, and I do. That's very satisfying, the 223s. Esther, we appreciate you this morning here talking some weddings. This is a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, and also happy National Wedding Planning Day. It's March 1st, and it's the kickoff to the season.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Okay, so there you go. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Esther, thank you.
Thank you.